As I mentioned earlier, Yana, I'm very curious about the outside world and I love traveling, and I'd done a bit of traveling overseas. And when I was traveling overseas, I loved it, but I kept thinking, such a shame that I haven't seen my own country.
Hi, my name is Yana. Thank you for watching. This episode starts with an audio introduction and continues with the video content. So remember to watch it until the end. And subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, share with friends. Thank you for being here and listening to Timeless Teachings. Hi, my name is Yana, and you are listening to the Timeless Teachings podcast or watching Timeless Teachings YouTube channel. Today, our guest is Nick Bendel, who is on an incredible adventure. He is having lunch with 500 strangers in 5 years. Why? To improve his social skills, gain a deeper understanding of human behavior, and build an incredible network. Nick was inspired by the amazing Kaley Chu, who had 100 lunches during 2018. When Nick isn't meeting strangers, he is running a business. He is the owner of Hunter Scribe, a copywriting and content marketing agency, and lives in Sydney, Australia. So, make yourself comfortable and let's welcome Nick. Nick, thank you for joining us today. It is a pleasure to have you as a guest on the Timeless Teachings podcast.
Thank you, Yana. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I must say, when I came across your post on LinkedIn about this incredible adventure you're on when you're doing 500 lunches with pretty much complete strangers and learning from those all incredible people, I was really inspired. So please tell us a little bit more about that. How did this idea was born and why are you doing this?
Well, thank you, Yana. I am in the process of having lunch with 500 strangers in 5 years. I've had 186 lunches so far. Unfortunately, Sydney is back in lockdown. I'm in Sydney and Sydney is back in lockdown. So I haven't been able to have any lunches for about 2 weeks. Once lockdown is over, I'm going to resume meeting strangers and having these lunches. And to answer your question of where I got the idea from, Yana, there's an amazing woman in Melbourne named Kaley Chu. And Kaley had lunch with 100 strangers in 2018. And she published a book about her experiences in 2019. And I discovered this book in 2019 and I bought the book and I thought, wow, this is incredible. What a great idea. I want to do the same thing. But I decided not to have 100 lunches, but 500 lunches. And so in August 2019, I started this incredible adventure. And this woman in Melbourne, Kaley Chu, she was my very first lunch. I flew to Melbourne just to have lunch with her. And
passing the torch, basically.
Exactly. And we became friends. We got on very well. And that was August 27, 2019. So I've been going for almost 2 years now. And I've met some incredible people and I've learned so much along the way.
So how does it do and how does it go? How do you select those people?
I'm trying to meet a really diverse group of people, Yana. I'm trying to meet 250 men and 250 women, and I'm trying to meet young people, old people, middle-aged people. I'm trying to meet people from all different professions and all different backgrounds. So one of the things I do, Yana, is I deliberately look for people who come from a particular background that is new. And another thing I do is if I'm on LinkedIn, where I'm very active, and I see someone's profile, and if the profile looks interesting, that's another reason why I will contact people, because I love meeting interesting people.
That's a great way to connect and have a very purposeful conversation within the lunch. It's like what we're doing right now. We're recording this interview. We have never met in person yet. And here we have our 1 hour. So I have an opportunity to learn a lot about you because we are in this environment. So I understand. It's a very powerful idea. So when you reach out to those people,
What is the percentage rate of acceptance or decline of your kind offer?
Only 5% of people accept my invitation.
Wow.
Most people, Yana, they never reply. So I don't know why they don't want to have lunch with me. Maybe it's because they think it's a scam. Maybe they think I'm trying to marry them or sell them something or convert them to my religion. Maybe they're very busy. Maybe they think it would be boring. I don't know, but most people don't reply.
And how do you write this email? Like when you set yourself to continue doing your work that you enjoy doing. And so the next question that I'm going to ask, I'm just going to pick up your brain a little bit about that, if that's okay with you. Because I know there are many other people who literally went crazy, like maybe not literally, but figuratively. So where it became really, really difficult to be alone, where it became difficult to be just in a locked up situations, not being able to see relatives, not being able to connect with other people. And they really mentally struggled with that. And you seems to be the person who perhaps because of the nature of your work before, I mean, journalism, it's a self-reflective work with a lot of time with yourself, right? When you have to write a lot and think a lot, how you're going to put it together. So I don't know if you have done it before because I don't really know much about you except for our interview, Nick. So I'm going to put you in a hot seat here. Would it be okay with you?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so to do some self-reflections. So if you reflect on just yourself, and you being with yourself during the time when it was lockdown, so just when we were not able to go and see other people, what do you think helped you the most to just be okay with that? Like, how would you go through your day?
One thing that helped me, Yana, was even though I wasn't able to go out and physically meet people, I was still interacting with people. I had Zoom lunches and I had Zoom chats with people. And then I was also just calling people on the phone. And so that meant even though I was locked away in my home, I still had human contact. That definitely helped. And also I'm lucky because I'm an introvert, so I'm comfortable on my own. That made it easier. And then another thing, Yana, I know that there's a link between mental health and physical health. And that's why I try to exercise every day and have a nutritious diet and to get plenty of sleep. I find if I do those things, that improves my mental health as well.
I love those advices. This is yes. It's also very simple to do. That's what I like about it. Right? It's very simple. It's something that anyone can do, and it's also very, well, you could say almost like natural and logical. I mean, of course, we want to sleep enough. And of course, we all want to try to eat healthy. And it's wonderful to include exercise in our daily routines. And also just the fact that you had this communication stream still with people, even though you were not able physically to see them. So you were conscious about it and focused that you will stay connected with people. I love that. I just want to ask one question a little bit deeper. Was there, like during the time, perhaps when you were with yourself, like was there a moment when you felt like maybe somewhat sad or not very content with the situation? And if there were, so what did you do to kind of bring yourself back into alignment?
Interesting you should ask that, Yana, because you've made me think back to something in the past, a related situation. I don't think I had any really serious issues during lockdown last year, fortunately, because I had a lot of human contact and I was doing things to stay mentally and physically healthy. But you made me remember that from 2003 to 2005, I spent about 3 years traveling around Australia and I slept in my car. And the reason I mention this is because even though I was going to all these different towns every day and interacting with lots of people, I wasn't really meeting anyone because I would say hello to someone, I would order food from someone, but there were no real conversations. And then I was sleeping in my car every night. So strange though it sounds, I was around people all the time, but I didn't really have much human contact. And during those 3 years, I remember there were maybe 2 or 3 occasions where I suddenly felt this great wave of loneliness wash over me. I think it was maybe connected to other things in my life. Maybe
or people who are talents in USSR. But I do know those stories. And to me, it is fascinating that look at us, we grew up in different time, we grew up in different parts of the world, and we read the same books as children. Isn't it amazing? So, right? So to me, this is just shows once again that as people, I mean, we are all made from blood and flesh and bones, and it's all the same thing. And fundamentally, we all actually want the same things, and we all want to connect. Everyone wants to be healthy, loved, happy, fulfilled, and just content with what is happening in life. And I do feel that whatever is happening in the world right now, it's actually could be used as an opportunity for us as humans to connect deeper. And I feel that this is also what we are doing here during our conversation with you, Nick, which I appreciate a lot. I definitely learned a lot. And you inspired me to perhaps do a road trip with the car. Not sure about sleeping in the car part, but a road trip with the car, yes. And thank you very much to everyone to listening to us and to watching us. And we will be back with another guest. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much, Jana. I've absolutely loved it.
Wow! Did you enjoy the interview? Feel free to share this episode with friends. Subscribe to the podcast and follow us on social media. Stay wild and be humble. До встречи!